Hey everybody, it's Carlos. It's been a while and I just wanted to make a quick video to just teach you something very simple and very powerful that might help many of you. Alright guys, so let's just recreate here kind of an idea. It's 11 o'clock, maybe a little late into this, but just hear me out. Let's just assume that you just log into the computer and you want to see what the opportunity lies on. And the reason I'm explaining this is because sometimes we're so attached and stubborn enough to focus only on what we think we can just focus on, when in reality the OT is created to give you a full-blown opportunity in multiple asset classes you can focus on when the other ones are not there for you. That way you don't force yourself into a trade where there should not be any. So here's an example how I would do it. So let's just say that I log in, right? And right off the bat, let me show you something in here. Let's just say that I'm paying attention to the screen here. Pay attention to the NQ, yes, because I'm mostly intrigued into the NQ, but in reality, just by glancing at it, I can see that the NQ is not fully aligned. Slightly bullish, but it's not there. Where in reality, you should only be focusing on Russell or gold, right? Here's an example. Out of everything that I see here, the OT is just showing me clearly, hey, focus on me, RTY, because I'm the one who is fully aligned out of everything that we have in front of us. That way, you don't need to kind of keep waiting out, forcing a trade, seeing trade that there's not there, and focus only on the ones that you see in front of you, right? So all I have to do is just click on the RTY and we will bring in here. Now remember, we're already late into this trade, right? And I'm pretty much doing, I did kind of analysis or whatnot, but I see kind of everything moving in sync. So the next step for me, I know that I can go long. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to pay attention to the RTY. Everything is green. You can see it right there. So let's just do it this way. I'm going to go into the edit. This is why we built this. Turn off everything else that is distracting me. Click save, and long and behold, guys, this is my setup. I see these guys are moving. I'm placing a trade, 2 contracts on the mini, and I feel confident that most likely, even though these guys are approaching the higher ground, it's coming from a pullback. The OD is showing me their intentions are controlled by buyers. So all I have to do is just immediately come here and protect my account immediately. I always like to do that. And then look for my goal. My goal is to make what? 200, 200, whatever that is. So the only thing that I see here is that I need to focus on the RTY. The OT showed me clearly this is the one that it's fully lined up. Let's hope and see if this works out or not, right? So the next step that I do is I turn off the visuals completely from the dynamic. I don't need it anymore. I already know buyers are in control, period. All right, sweet. So that's it. I turn it off. There is no ambiguity. There's no confusion. This is what I'm focusing on. The next step for me is, okay, how far would they go up? What the target is going to be for me. So that depends on what you're looking for. There are 2 ways you can do it here on TradingView. Check this out. Let's just assume that I want to make a quick $200. Take a closer look what I'm doing. You see, as I move up the targeting, it tells me where the price point would be, right? And 200 would be right there. So I can use that as a target, because it's what I'm looking for, right? Now, this doesn't necessarily goes in hand on the risk reward ratio thing, because you can do whatever you want to do with your ratio, right? You can do 1-to-1 ratio, you do that, and now you have a 1-to-1 ratio. I don't play like that, right? I play the kind of long game, right? I'm already late into the trade. The trade when we see clearly started at 938 or whatnot. I'm already late. I'm trusting the OT because it showed me out of all the indices out there, RTYs is where the dough is. Focus on here. This is where the money is. Sweet, no problem. So I'm in. I'm looking for a quick $200 or whatnot. I'm going to turn off this so I don't get distracted with all these colors and thinking that are beautiful and whatnot. The next step is I'll go into a 15-minute chart and see if we can find some sort of ideas, right, of resistance and support and whatnot. And I noticed this is a previous important high, and it's also in previous swing high right here. I'm pretty sure that this guys, based on the strength that I'm seeing here, might be interested. I'm not saying they will, but they might be interested in pushing through or higher, meaning that I can probably extend this to the next support line area, a little bit above that level, which is this swing low, that swing low, and I can scroll back and go back. Oh, that's a swing high right there. Beautiful. I can identify an important layer of previous supply and demands, or support or resistance, whatever you want to call them, and create kind of an imaginary zone. So let's just take the trifecta, if you remember what the trifectas are. So 3 points in here, and then about, let's see, 3 points on the way down. It would be roughly around this area, and then leave it there. And that way, I know that I can place my exit at that point and focus on that. The next step here is that I already know where the potential move might be based on prior support and resistance. I'm just talking about if you want to do some granular analysis and whatnot. I know that we taught you other areas and other ideas that you can go for. You can do, obviously, the good old-fashioned triangle formation, right? Like this one. It just broke right there. It's a huge move. What's happening here's that's another one, and the most recent one is this one, right? And then I can take the width, and you know the problem, right? In the process. So I'm pretty sure that that might be a real potential opportunity. However, if I see $200, which is what I'm looking for, I can get out of that, right? And that would be my focus. Now I can just trail my stop a little bit higher than that on this 15-minute bar, and I have some clarity, right, of what I'm looking for. So I'm risking 300 to make 600. It depends on me if I want to play it out. However, how do I know if this is going to work out? Look at the OT. It showed us, and it told us since the beginning, focus only on the RTY, because the other ones, they do have their thing. They have attitudes today. And this is how you approach the market. I just came in late. I just was doing some errands. I come here. My first step is not opening a chart, guys, right? My first step is to opening up the OT and show me which instrument I should be focusing on that will provide the highest probability of success at that specific moment. RTY being the one. Now notice YM gaining some momentum. You see changing the color thing. Strength, that would be the other one if I wanted to trade that. Hope that kind of makes sense to you. This way you're not locked and exclusively forced to trade only the NQ. Guys, we taught you about the NQ because the NQ is one of the most difficult markets there are. And once you tame the NQ, it means that the other ones become a walk in the park. Look at the NQ now. Is telling us that we should consider it and whatnot. Now it would be a good opportunity to focus on the NQ. Does that make sense? I hope it kind of makes sense. We're already on profits here, so why don't we just load in the NQ now and see what's going on? Now I can see the NQ moving ahead. Let me turn this on nicely. I can then place, I'm going to place only one right there and say, you know what? Now they're moving ahead, and now you're blindsided because you don't have it in here. So let's just add it up. Go to the edit, enable NQ, click save. And guess what, guys? Now we have the NQ fully aligned. I can trust it. The OT is telling me now is the key for you to look for the NQ opportunities that you were waiting for. I want to make sure that I make maybe $300 here. I'm going to put it right in there. I'm going to wait for it, because the NQ is now light up. OT is showing me the way. I'm not forcing a trade when there shouldn't be any. Sometimes we tend to overcomplicate things because we love to have a lot of bells and whistles and logics and sound, all these crazy other stuff, right? I'm telling you, you do not need to force things or force trades when you have it all with the OT the way that I'm showing it to you. Our focus is to make a profitable trade. The next step is, yeah, you want a higher evolution of the trade, you want a higher outcome of the trade, then you switch mentality, you do bigger analysis. In reality, the trade or the target should be around, if I'm not mistaken, around 13,070 all the way up there. That's not the point. The point of what I'm saying is, I just log into my computer. I want to know if I can make a quick $200 to $300, and in which market should I be focusing that opportunity on. The only one that was available for us to aim for that was the Russell. And look at that, almost the $600. Now I lured up here. Look what I'm going to do. We didn't use the OT, we didn't use, the OD or none of that. Let me turn it off. We just used the OT, the Omegavus trend, to let us know where we should be focusing on. Yes, I did a little bit of a granular analysis, going back in time, identifying support and resistance. There's a little bit more nerdy stuff. I get it. But here's what I do. I'm going to trail the stop, tied it up, because now I'm over my exceeding opportunity of $300. That target should be hit. Let me see, OT 500%. Yes, absolutely. I can trust that. Highly probable that target will be hit. I will walk away with what I was expecting, actually double of more than I was expecting. And I'm actually protecting. I either make 620 or walk away with 430. Still over $130 more of the three that I was looking for. I kind of hope, guys, this makes sense to you, right? So while that happens, let's just go back. Let's see. In the meantime, let's just focus here on the NQ. And the NQ already gave us the profit. So that's it. We're done. So now I'm going back here and seeing if I can get this rolling in a moment. Almost there. And there it is. That is it. Guys, I hope you can understand the power of why is it that the OT should be the most important part of your arsenal. Is not trading signals, is not the dynamic, is not the next bells and whistles, it's not the one step next indicator crossover, blah blah blah. This tells you, the OT tells you when and where you should be focusing all your efforts since the beginning. There is no need to other additional crazy indicators or a complex thing. That comes later on to hone your skills and take it to the next step. If you want to swing trade, if you want to go for bigger profits, that's where the complexity of the pivot step concept or the triangle formation 40-60, Fibonacci's, or what we teach on the synergy zone, advanced marketing analysis and projections and forecasting. Yes, that's kind of the next level or evolution. Once you got this nailed down, the OT will always show you where and when you should be focusing on, so that you don't waste your time. And at the end of the time, guys, your whole goal is to focus in and coming in to go in and make your goal, your dough, and get out. With that being said, I hope this finds you well. Let me know what you think about this, and I hope you take this and put it to practice. Sometimes more, it's not necessarily the best thing. Less is better, right? Keep it simple. And once you log in every day into the market, your first step is to glance at the market and focus on where your opportunity will be focused on, based on what the OT showed us that we should be diving in for the highest probability of success of opportunities. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.